What up, fam? What up, what up, what up? This is Brother Hot Tim coming at you live and direct. And of course, you know you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. I am your host, Brother Hot Tim, and it is dark in this room. I got to adjust the light just a little bit so that they can see me as well as hear me on the podcast. But you know, this is part of the issue of being dark. And you are now listening to Folk Tales for Grown Folks. And we're going to get into it and we're going to chop it out. And of course, you know this is a Heart of a Simple production. Where we strive to blow up those old paradigms. Oh man, 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 oh man. I'm coming at you on this powerful day of Kujichagulia. Moving into Ujima. Not really feeling like writing. Not really feeling like talking, but this is something that I have dedicated myself to. It's part of the cycle. It's almost automatic. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it till I'm satisfied. Whatever it is, do it. Do it till you're satisfied. Come on and do it. Right? You know what I'm saying? We got to do what we was born to do. Many of us is holding back, right? I have gotten too old to even give a damn about what anybody think about what I do. You know what I'm saying? I'm throwing up the challenges. I'm getting up doing my meditations. I'm getting up doing the daily toast. I'm getting up doing the stuff that I'm supposed to do because this is what I was supposed to do. This is my purpose in life, right? I set myself determination. I'm going to build unity. I'm going to build the culture. And this is what I do, right? I'm one of the best at what I do. So, one of the things that we have to hit before we even get to Folktale for Grown Folks, right? Because one of the things that's going on the black YouTube circle at this point in time is that we have fam that's out here struggling right now, right? Because y'all have to understand that some people have built businesses off of this. I haven't been able to get over. I just reached 100 fans, right? I mean, not even fans. I reached 100 people that's watching, right? You got a couple of thousand maybe that listen sporadically to my podcast and stuff like that. And I do this because this is what I was meant to do. And in some form or fashion, my hustle always makes sure that I'm able to stay afloat. Those of you that know me, those of you that's been around me, those that have experienced some things with me, I have always been able to stay afloat. Whether I was a struggling college student, or whether I was a young professional, or whether I was a nation builder at the time, now I'm a culture builder, right? And the piece is, I've always been able to do multiple things and stay afloat. But we have some brothers and sisters out here who have built platforms on YouTube, who have built platforms on Facebook, who have built platforms on Twitter, right? And they have followers. And these followers don't realize that a lot of individuals, especially those that look like me, are being affected, especially on YouTube. Excuse me, Sasha. I told you to turn that off, baby. It's time for bed. I'm sorry, I got to be a daddy. I don't care. Shouts out to Sister Kim. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining. But what we're talking about is we have individuals who have built a platform and they have been able to create a business, a black-owned business that depends on views. And they was doing good. And I was so proud of them, and I would love to be able to do that. But, it might not be in my stars. So I'm going to keep on building, right? But the one piece we got to understand, and we got to look at this whole piece before we even get into the folktale, right? You had these, I ain't even going to say young people. You have these black YouTubers. You have these entrepreneurs who built a platform. And I want y'all to check the science of this, right? They built a platform. And this little white boy by the name of PewDiePie goes out and pulls a prank and fucks up the whole YouTuber sphere. Now everybody's money is fucked up. And the money that's getting fucked up the most is black folk like you. Right? So, you got individuals with hundreds of thousands of viewers or hundreds of thousands of followers. They go and they put up a Patreon page and can't even get 100 people to go over to their Patreon page. I mean, they'll put up a video and people will click it and like it 80,000, 100,000 times. But when it comes to supporting supporting our own, we don't do it. Whether it's $1, whether it's $2. I want to think about it. If you got 100,000 viewers, and 50,000 of your viewers say, I'm gonna give them $1 a month. I'm not gonna buy a pack of gum. I'm gonna sacrifice one pack of gum. I'm gonna sacrifice a cigarette a month. Hey, I mean, like I said, hopefully somebody can. Miss Kim says, it's good that you bring this topic. Can someone spearhead a conference to deal with this? Right? I mean, and really, the conferences have happened. We've been talking about this. For some reason, we believe that what we do is less valuable. So I don't have to pay for the shit. YouTube has made it possible for me to sneak into the conferences. YouTube has made it possible for me to just catch some shit for free. YouTube has made it possible for me to pop up and just get a little bit of information and share it. I don't have to pay for it no more. Right? Which shows the value that you have on us. See, because some people depend on the YouTube piece. And I know some of y'all are like, well, they shouldn't depend on YouTube. Motherfucker, that's like somebody looking at you at your job and not giving you a check. Say, hey, you shouldn't depend on your job. You shouldn't depend on the state. You do that shit every day. Now, I'm not, see, because I'm more upset for them. This is why, right? I've been on YouTube since 2008. I got 109 viewers. I've been on Facebook for a shorter amount of time. I got a whole bunch of friends and shit. I put shit up. I get 1 or 2 looks. You know what I'm saying? I write shit myself. I put some drama up. Oh, they flocking to that shit. So I'm not even mad. Right? Because I already know that it only take 1 to 10 of us to get a project popping. Right? That's all it takes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking for it, but I do understand the pain that these individuals are feeling, because you build something that's beautiful. You build something that's nice. You build something that you could call your own, and that your community could call their own, and you want them to interact with you. But yet and still, what ends up happening is that when you need support, you standing on your own. And that is part of the syndrome that we have. This is why this is when I talk about the hood mentality, right? We have been trapped in the hood mentality. Sister Kim said the problem is organization. You can't get people to pay. The problem is not going to go away. Could we organize a black media Netflix where people contribute, the money goes to multiple produce? See more. Hold on. Where people contribute and money goes to multiple producers. Now, it's not about guilting. Because I want, well, fuck that, yeah. It's about guilting. I'm gonna say it, right? Because they do it in the church. Motherfuckers feel guilty. You're going to hell if you don't put it in that pot. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, nobody guilts them at the club. Nobody guilts them when they go buy the Jordans. But when black folks say, hey, you need to support some shit that's black, I don't give a shit what it is. I'm just saying, when you say that, it's about guilting. No, it's not about guilting. You don't think Jews guilt other Jews for not supporting their shit? You don't think Chinese guilt other Chinese motherfuckers? When they catch a Chinese motherfucker in the soul food restaurant, you don't think they guilt his ass? I mean, really. Guilt is part of all cultures. You know what I'm saying? It helps keep motherfuckers in line. Excuse my language, Kim. You know how I get. If it's the Kim, I think I know. Are you Kim? I think I know. You know, I'm not just talking to you, but I'm talking to everybody. But the whole point is, and sometimes you got to pull that out the hat. Why? Because we be holding on to that person when it comes to us, right? But when it's about the refugees, or it's about the birds, or it's about the environment, you know what I'm saying? Or it's about saving everybody. We opening up. I remember I had a brother. He went pro. we was building some stuff together. He said, "Brother Tim, I'm gonna come back and we gonna do some shit." Right? And I ain't got no problem, I'm like, cool. I heard people tell me that before. So next time I hear about the brother, he go and he donates like $200,000 to the Jewish Memorial Center. But he's not Jewish. Black people are different. We do not know how to do collective economics. Now, are black people different? Or have black people been socialized? We're not. It's not different. See, because what you're saying is that we move counter to our own survival. So is that different or is that sick? Let's just say what it is. Is it different or is it sick to move against your own survival? You know what I'm saying? Because I would love to be like it's just different, but it goes against what every people have done throughout history. You know what I'm saying? And it's not okay. You know what I'm saying? Because we could conference, because even if we was to do the Netflix thing and the money was to go to common producers, right? And we set that shit up tomorrow, how many people are actually paying? You probably got about 10 friends that's going to be bootlegging the goddamn movies. Right? So is it different or is it sick? And until we admit where we are, we have to be socialized to be against we have been socialized to be against our best interests. Now that we can agree on that, we got to recognize where we are. Now, this is my issue. Can't do 100,000. Can we do 100 in Columbus? Can you do 100 in Chicago? Can you do 100 in Philly? Can you do 100 in Indianapolis? Can we do 100 in you know what I'm saying? Because it starts small. Because the issue is, a lot of us, we want to start big. You know what I'm saying? Because my whole piece is, we need to start small, because I have been more effective with small groups. It is sick. It's very sick. She says, of course it's sick. And it's like, it's not, and we can't describe it as just different. We got to describe it as what it is. It's sick. It's anti-survival. Any people that's working on an anti-survival mechanism is not only sick, but is dangerously sick. We have a virus that is basically ruining our lives. It's hard for us to come together as an individual, and it's even harder for us to come together as a collective. But in order for us to become whole individuals, we got to start developing the whole collective. And we can start that in small ways. Like some of y'all out there, y'all get y'all 10 friends. I get my 10 friends. Let's say 5. Anti-survival. Yeah. And it's not natural. And it's bad for our babies. You know what I'm saying? Our babies see this. And it's become normal behavior. We rush out. I mean, we already know this. Everybody, y'all heard it 1,000 times. We rush out and spend our money with others. Of course I will, sis. You keep doing the same, all right? And thank you for joining. For those that would be interested in calling in, the number is 614-556-4535. We're going to open the lines. Right now, I'm hitting on some of the YouTube woes that some of the other black YouTubers are having. I'm not having it because I never really expected, it would be nice, but I never really expected to make any money off of YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So, but the point is to get the message up, because like I said, I'm building, right? I'm trying to make sure there's something there for my children, and if not my children, maybe some of your children might need to hear some of these words, right? And in hearing these words, start changing the reality. We got a lot of work to do, fam. We got a lot of work to do. And I'm not scared. I've been lifting and pulling and pushing for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to continue so until I can no longer do it, right? It's just that I have tools different than my elders had, right? So I got a tool that can make it possible for me to reach thousands, millions, maybe even reach the coming billions of people that will be hitting the internet with extra pennies to donate. You know, because, you know, people used to make fun of me because I say your small change to make a large change in our community, in our tribe. Your small change, right? Because I'm not asking people for a lot. Like I said, even when you go to into the Nguzo Saba challenge, it has an amount up there. It says 0 plus. So you could get on the Nguzo Saba challenge and get almost anything on my Gumroad site for free. Almost anything for free. Right? And if you are really interested and you really don't have nothing to donate and you want to get one of my books, I have no problem with sending that to you as well. You know what I'm saying? So the issue is how do we change this? And this is why I went to the Nguzo Saba challenge. This is why I started doing the Nguzo Saba challenge, right? Because one, you ain't got to learn a whole lot of language. I be listening to some of these other systems and I be lost in them motherfuckers because these motherfuckers be gurgling and shit when they talking. No disrespect. But, you know, it do sound like gurgling to me sometimes. And, you know, they speaking a language that's beautiful, but it's no longer ours. Historically, it's ours, but we no longer grasp it. And for a 50-year-old dude like myself to actually go out and think that I'm going to be proficient with this language within the next 20 years is very unlikely. But I'm very proficient with English. And I'm very proficient with words that have been popping up for me since 1967. And I can use those words to construct something that can help somebody work their way out of their life. Work them into the life that they want. Right? I could take certain breathing exercises that I have learned over time. I could take certain moves that I have learned over time, and I could show and share with you how you could change your life. Right? And just with 10 of us, we can make changes where we are. And then making changes where we are and impacting the people that we are able to impact will cause a ripple effect, because each one of us has to be, in a sense, the stone in which the stone, I forgot to turn this on, I'm sorry. Many of us have to become the stone that is thrown into the water that causes ripples. We got, wherever we hit, we got to cause the ripples to go out. And in causing the ripples to go out, you know, it starts small, but then you start seeing the ripples and they start getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's how we got to work. That's how we got to build. That's how we got to move. And that's the challenge, right? You know what I'm saying? I see my man Dame doing it with Iliad. You know, I'm trying to do what I do with Gye-Nyame Journey. You got other people out there doing it exactly where they are with exactly what they have, right? You know what I'm saying? At time, and I just need to say this to some of my fam out there that's listening now or maybe listening later. Stop waiting. Please. You know what I'm saying? Stop waiting. Stop waiting to get it perfectly produced. I remember I would have people around me and they would have all types of shit and they wouldn't put it out and it'd be good, but they wanted it perfect. Family. Sometimes we got to be bold enough to put shit out even though it's messed up. This is one of the reasons people get my book and they be kind of upset with me. Brother Hatim, you got typos in this shit and the language is not proper, and you know what, in the book ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? What I like is I like when people read the book and be like, boom, boom, they make corrections. Shit, Brother Hatim, here, trade me a book. Here goes some shit that you could correct. You know why? Because I had to do the shit by myself. For years, I had the Players Pyramid, and I would share the Players Pyramid in my circle, and people would look at it, and people would start on it, and people would stop it. People would lose it, and you know what I'm saying? And for years, I'm sitting up here waiting, and I finally got tired of waiting because I read it so much. I know what I'm trying to say, so I said, fuck it, I'm going to publish it anyway. Why? Because somebody out there might need to hear what the fuck is in this book. Period. I stopped waiting for perfect. I stopped waiting for perfection. I stopped it. Why? Because that's one of the mind traps. That's one of the mind fucks that we go into, right? We honestly think that our enemy is so godlike that everything they put out is perfect. You don't realize that every time these motherfuckers do something, they always adjusting and fixing it as they go. They start some shit and they adjust and they fix it as they go. You ain't realize that? Right? Adjust it and fix it as they go. Adjust it and fix it as they go. And that's how we got to be. That's how we got to do. We're fighting a guerrilla war. If you're waiting for perfect weapons in a guerrilla war, it will never come. You're going to lose. A guerrilla war is hit and disperse. Hit, fade into the jungle. Hit, fade into the urban background. Hit, fade, and you know what I'm saying? Boom. And that's what I'm doing. Boom, hit, boom. The hit is not perfect, but damn. Maybe somebody that's younger than me would be like, damn, he did it that way and this happened. So, hey, brother, why don't we try it this way? Or better yet, take his own unit and go out, hit, boom, and they come back. Right? We got to stop being scared. Right? And we got to start supporting each other. Those of us that know better need to do better. I'm not even talking to those that don't give a fuck. I'm not even talking to those that want to do the drama. I'm not even talking to those who Gucci is more important than their people. I'm not talking to those who would rather have rims and don't care if the rims that they just bought, they got them over the bones of their people. And I don't care about those that don't respect their ancestors. I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to those of you that know. Right? Dig into your pockets and support some of these YouTube channels. Right? Dig into your pockets and support people that's doing positive things. If it's nothing but $1 a week, look at it as a fucking investment. Look at it. Like, for example, tomorrow, you have a sister that come on at the same time I come on. She come on YouTube and she come on Facebook. Her name is, the name of it is Breaking Brown Media. Her name is Brilliant Sister. Brilliant. What's her name? Cornell. I can't remember her name. Breaking Brown Media. You can look it up on Facebook, but the point I'm trying to make is those type of stations need your support. They need our support. You know what I'm saying? If you don't do nothing but go and push your thumbs up, but I know y'all could do more than that. I know you could do more than that. You know what I'm saying? And if we don't, right? If we don't, we're going to leave our children absolutely nothing. And they're going to be matter of fact, they're going to be in a worse position than you were when you started off as an adult. And maybe some of y'all was blessed. Maybe y'all came into cars, or maybe y'all came into property, and you know what I'm saying? Maybe your family had enough insight, enough foresight to build and shit like that, and pass something down of substance to you and shit. Right? But I'm just praying that some of us had the foresight to do that for the next generation, and instill in our children, this is what we supposed to be doing. This is what it's all about. Right? No, we've been taught that it's all about kicking it. It's all about the moment. It's all about living right now, getting it all in, popping those bottles. All right, let's get into the folktale, because I don't want to drag this out. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to drag this out. Solutions. Anybody want to call in, hit me up at 614-556-4535. Lines are open. I'll type it up for y'all real quick so that y'all can get in. I'm going to call it a night pretty soon because I got to get up and do that toast. I always end up volunteering to do stuff that nobody else is doing, and it be kicking me in the ass. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't do nothing else, man. I actually love this. I love those people that take the time to at least drop in every now and then, drop a line or pop up a thumb. I didn't see who thumb that was, you know what I'm saying? But thank you, whoever popped up the thumb. I appreciate it if y'all would like and share. But tonight's folktale is called The Fishermen. Very simple. The Fishermen. All right? I'm coming from Aesop Fables, complete and original translation from Greek, translated by George Filer Townsend, my fault, from a place called Forgotten Books. which is also another good site to support, because you'd be kind of surprised some of the dope writings that are public domain. Now, let me explain to those of you out there that may be entrepreneurs what public domain means. Public domain video, public domain audio, public domain literature means that you could basically take the stuff. As long as you cite who it was by, you could put it out. You could do some of your own commentary on it. I mean, that's a business right there. That's a business right there, right? You know, but hey, you know, like I said, it take work. All right. And it ain't super glamorous. The fishermen. Some fishermen were out trawling their nets. Perceiving them to be very heavy, they danced about for joy and supposed that they had taken a large catch. When they had dragged the nets to the shore, they found but few fish. The nets were full of sand and stones, and the men were beyond measure cast down so much at the disappointment which had befallen them. But because they have formed such very different expectations, one of their company, an old man, said, "Let us cease lamenting, my mates, for it seems to me sorrow is always the twin sister of joy, and it was only to be looked for that we, who just now were over rejoiced, should not have something to make us sad." So I got to read that end part again because somehow in translation it got lost. Let us cease lamenting, my mates, for as it seems to me, sorrow is always a twin sister of joy. And it was only to be looked for that we, who just now were over rejoiced, should next have something to make us sad. All right. First things first, right? First thing first. Check it out. Y'all ready, fam? Listen. You listening? They said that joy and sorrow are sisters, and they travel together, right? This is why in the ancient times they used to talk about balance. This is why Mayat was such an important principle in our Kemetic philosophy. Here, let me start the class, man. Y'all ain't ready. Y'all not ready. In our ancient philosophy, balance was very important. Why? Because when I learned to balance myself, right? When I seek balance in those five that I'll tell you about, when I understand the six emotion, the 5 parts of the being, the 6 emotion, and I practice my principles. We say 7. I don't know exactly how many the ancestors had because there's so many different principle systems, but we focus on 7. When you are able to align the 5, spirit, my fault, intuition, mind, emotions, spirit, and the physical. And we unite those as individuals, right? And we understand the 6 emotions that rotate around the being, whether it's united as one or whether they're all separate beings. We got these 6 emotions, right? Let me see. Intuition, mental, emotional. We got we got those emotions, right? Those emotions can cause a lot of confusion. That finger represents emotion. You know what I'm saying? Those emotions can cause a lot of confusion because we don't understand them, right? But we could get through the core of our emotions, and our emotions lead us to our true self, which is powerful, peaceful, and joyous. And when we're able to move and understanding those emotions, and we move within our principles, we move to the number 8. So we got 5, 6, and 7. 5 parts of the being, 6 emotions that make a combination of an infinite amount of emotions, but you got the 6 basic ones that you pull from, and the 7 principles. And when we align, when we balance out that being, you know what I'm saying? And we learn about those emotions, and we move with our principles, we move into number 8, which is power. And we're able to overcome all obstacles. We're able to power through all types of situations. And we understand that joy travels with sorrow, right? Which means that when I'm in balance, right, I could be hit with something sorrowful. But if I am using the wisdom of my ancestors, I can also look into that sorrow and I can pick out the joy. I can look at the joy and pull the joy out of the sorrow. No, not look around the sorrow and look for other things to bring me joy. No, I look into the sorrow. This is why a lot of us have problems, because we run away from our sorrows, not realizing that oftentimes our sorrows, right, those things that make us sad, are the very things that have been sent to us as the blessings we've been asking for in our lives. We give up. Like these fishermen. These fishermen could have gave up. Listen to the story again, right? What was the fishermen doing? Some fishermen were out trawling their nets, perceiving them to be very heavy. They danced about for joy and supposed they had taken a large catch. So first off, one of the first mistakes, these individuals didn't look at the situation in balance. They totally went to the joy side. They started celebrating. They started partying like a lot of us. A lot of us, we throw our nets out in the world and the nets feel heavy and we start dancing for joy rather than just being balanced. I ain't saying not have a good time. I'm not saying not to celebrate. I'm not saying to praise. But what I'm saying is that sometimes we need to wait to see what the net bring up. Because what we may be pulling in may be an illusion, right? It may be unreal. See, we celebrate something that's unreal because we haven't seen it yet, right? Our ancestors say, learn to distinguish the real from the unreal. And many of us are living in an unreal reality. I mean, we're living in this unreal. We're living in this damn illusion, right? Many of us, we throw our hopes out with illusions. Some of us are out like these fishermen fishing and we ain't even got a goddamn net. And we throw our imagination out into the water and expect it to bring something up. When the imagination is nothing without work. Nothing without that physical. This is why I went with the Nguzo Saba challenge. One of the first things I challenge everybody to do is to start getting your body together, because this is the issue. A lot of us miss this point. If my physical body, I'm putting it up again, I have the intuition, I have the mental, I have the emotional, I have this the spiritual, and I got the physical. If the physical, which is the vehicle in which we call a shell, which is the shell in which, or the tool in which the Creator has given us to work within the physical world, if this is not in order, in the best order we could keep it, right? If I'm not feeding the body right, how can I feed the spirit right? If I'm not taking care of the body, the very thing that I can see every day, that I get up and I wash the face and I wash the body, hopefully y'all doing that, right? If I'm not taking care of that, how do I expect to be able to handle emotional situations? How am I going, you know what I'm saying? If I'm not providing the proper fuel for that body, if I'm not taking in the proper amount of water, how are all the things that I can't see going to work out for me? So back to the fishermen. They're trawling their nets, perceiving them to be very heavy. They danced about for joy and supposed that they had taken a large catch. When they had dragged the nets to shore, they found but a few fish. So they dancing for joy on the deck. Now, let me get to the importance of elders. Real elders, right? Because many of us, we kind of throw their wisdom to the side. I don't want to listen to that old dude. That old dude don't know what's going on. Right? Y'all in the streets, y'all ain't listening to y'all elders because y'all think that everything that's going on in the streets is new. Some of the streets have been the same forever. The elders might not have the lingo. The elders might not have the technology, but the same shit that you doing now, our elders have done in a different way. Maybe in a slower way. Maybe they, you know what I'm saying? They might have some insight for you. So you got these young boys who went fishing and throw out the net, and because the net feels heavy, they're celebrating, they're joyous, they're dancing. Why? Because the fish mean that their family can eat. And not only can their family eat, not only can the families of everybody on their boat eat, but also they will be able to bring home some extra money. So now we don't just have to eat fish. I can buy some rice with this. Or I might be able to trade some of the fish for some rice. Or I might be able to get the new sandals that I need. So I'm celebrating. I'm happy. I'm joyous. I'm lit. I'm happy. I'm ready to pull out the liquor. I'm ready to celebrate. I'm gonna get to that in a second, right? I'm celebrating. When they had dragged the nets to shore, which took a lot of work, they probably was tired, they found but few fish. The nets were full of sand and stones. And the men were beyond measure cast down so much at the disappointment which had befallen them. So they went from joy that quick. They went from up here to all the way down here. Now, our ancestors taught the mystery system to be balanced so that we can experience life balanced. Right? Not allowing ourselves to feel joy, but not allowing it to take us up here. And we could feel sorrow and not allowing it to descend us. We could feel it. We can see it, we can observe it, and we maintain the mind state so that we can ask the questions. Right? Many of us, we just get joyous. We don't ask the questions. What's in the gnat? We need to really hold on. We need to see what's in the gnat. You know what I'm saying? And on joy as well as in sorrow. Right? Be balanced, my friend. The men beyond measure cast down so much at the disappointment which had befallen them, but because they have formed such very different expectations. See, a lot of us form different expectations. We do it for our kids, and when our kids don't perform in a way that we believe, we become sorrowful. How could you do this to me? How can you go to school and act in the way that you act? I'm guilty of this. How do you get the crap? We provide you with everything that you need. You know what I'm saying? And we're attached to it. We struggle with their struggle. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We got expectations. We set these expectations. Right? And I know a lot of y'all said, well, brother, I tell him, well, what do you expect us to do? To take life as it comes? Yeah. First, we take life as it comes, get an understanding, then we can start transforming. You can't transform something you don't know. You can't transform something that you don't feel. You can't transform something that you don't invest in. Right? It takes hard work. Right? So I got to really observe. Right? So if my child is struggling with school, I have to really ask myself the question, what if school is not for her? What if school is not for him? And I know how it makes me feel. Right? But I can't allow my feelings to overcome and downgrade them. Man, that's hard. Because we got such expectation for our children. We got such expectation for our friends. We got so much expectation for our relatives. We got expectations. I got expectations, right? And when other people don't meet these expectations, we become depressed. We become downtrodden, right? But this is the wisdom. Listen to it. One of their company, an old man, said, "Let us cease lamenting." For those that know what lamenting is like, you know how some of y'all live your life. you know how some of y'all live your life. Constantly sad, constantly bad, constantly blaming. My mates, for as it seems to me, sorrow is always the twin sister of joy. So sorrow and joy is like a coin. On one side, you got heads. The other side, you got tails. rather than investing all your money on just heads. Why don't you even out your bets? Why don't you balance out? Actually, don't even bet on it. Let it land on what it lands, and you deal with it. You feel it. You work with it, right? Because this is the issue that a lot of us don't understand, man. When I have found balance within myself, and I found balance within my network, regardless of what comes to me, I got the support, whether it's good or bad, and we can move through it. As a people, we lost that somewhere. We think it's supposed to be all good. But I want you to think about how good it was for Booker T. Washington to build the school. I want you to think how good it was for Marcus Garvey to build the organization. I want you to think about how good it was for Elijah Muhammad. I want you to think how good it was for Sojourner Truth and Harriet Tubman to do the things that they did. I want you to think about how our ancestors. I want you to think, was it all good? Even in the best times for us, was it all good? You know what I'm saying? Because we talk about Black Wall Street a lot, but was it all good when they built it? Was it all good before the West Asians came in to destroy it? There were no issues. There was no beef. There were no problems. You know what I'm saying? Joy's twin sister is sorrow. And we have to find a way to balance ourselves so that we can deal with that. And by us learning our principles, and by us practicing our principles, and by us instituting our principles and building a culture around that's based on principles, we will be able to deal with this stuff, deal with these emotions, deal with each other in a righteous way. As a matter of fact, I think today one of the principles that go along, no, that's tomorrow. Today is justice, right? We can be just. All right? So, let's finish what he said. Sorrow is always the twin sister of joy, and it was only to be looked for that way. Who just now were over rejoice should next have something to make us sad. So he said, because we threw it in the water and we expected joy, we should have also expected sorrow. So it means that every time something good comes, right, we need to prepare. And our ancestors lived like that, right? And I remember in a class a long time, I forgot the class, but I never forget, we were studying African culture. And there was a season that our ancestors used to call the hungry season. And we always prepared for the hungry season. So we go out, get the yams, we go out where the people was hunting, and we would do the gathering, and we would eat, and we would feast. But we always put something to the side. Why? Because we knew that a hungry season was always coming. Right? So we did that on the physical. We took care of the body on the physical level. We controlled our appetite so we wouldn't eat up everything. Right? And we always put stuff to the side. We stored it. We fermented it. We dried it out. We got to prepare for the hungry season because we know the hungry season was coming. It was going to be a time when the crops wasn't producing in the way it was. It's going to come a time where we're not going to be able to catch as many animals as we got. There's going to be a time where possibly my herd is not producing like it's supposed to, right? And it's going to be a hungry season. And they counted on a hungry season. And the hungry season basically is how we need to deal with our emotions. We always know that when we got abundance of joy, we got to know that sorrow is coming. Many of us act like it's never coming. Many of us get a little bit of money, we spend it, and I'm guilty. Man. See, I'm not just talking to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to myself. This whole thing. I get a little bit of money, I spend that shit like it ain't never stopped. That's why I'm glad I haven't got a tax return in 3 years now. And actually, I didn't get one for maybe 15 years before that. Right? Because I spend it like, some of y'all in the club right now. You might be listening to this in the club, in the bar right now, drinking, laughing. Right? About time and a nigga got a haircut. Right? Ain't putting nothing away. Not trying to build legacy. Not even realizing that our children are relying on us. And it's deeper than just being able to provide them meals every day. What thoughts are you putting in their heads so that when you're gone? What lessons are you laying the foundation so that when you're gone, they'll be able to draw on them? So when they hit the sorrow, they can remember that, hey, you know what I'm saying? It might be raining right now, but the sun has to come out. One day. See, our ancestor here, right? Aesop. You know, some people, of course, I'm gonna eventually, as we start growing and we start talking about Aesop, of course, we're gonna get the arguments that, oh, he was Greek, blah blah blah. I stand with he was African, right? I don't give a fuck what people say. I don't give a fuck what the documents say, because I understand the power of story, and I understand the power of belief, right? It don't matter what Brother Hatim say about Christianity. Those people that truly believe in Christianity are going to believe in Christianity, and Christianity is going to produce for them. Why? Because they have established a process for themselves. Some of you black conscious folks, you haven't produced, we haven't produced a process for ourselves. Some of you out there that don't believe in nothing, you don't have a process. So of course, everything is thrown to the wind. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Where's the process? Right? So that we can evaluate whether it works or not, and we can compare other processes. We got Muslims; they got a process. Every day, 5 times a day, they pray. That's a process. At least once a year, they fast for 30 days. That's a process. That's a ritual. That's culture. Right? Every Sunday, people they gather up in the churches. That's a process. Right? So to my crew, we're in the process. Right? So that we can constantly remind ourselves, the good come with the bad. The bad come with the good. One day I'm going to laugh about this. One day you going to laugh about this. One day it's going to get better. You're going to heal. Go through your process. Embrace your sorrow. You know what I'm saying? We got to learn how to start talking to each other rather than just get over that shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a relationship with somebody, that nigga wasn't shit. No, whoa. Let's give people time to go through their process. And let's help them. Let's help them through their process. Let's give them the space so that they can heal. Right? That's all this elder is trying to point out. And Elder Aesop basically prepared us for the hungry season. We are, as a black people, in the hungry season. This is the hungry season. And I know it's a long ass. It's long. It's long. You know what I'm saying? And you know, sometimes there's some good with it, there's some bad with it. But they stocked us with wisdom to get us through. And you'd be like, I know some of y'all like, bro, I can't eat no goddamn wisdom. But can you? Can you? Actually, wisdom may say, like, for example, I heard today that our ancestor says, check this out. I'm going to fuck you up with this one. You live off 1/3 of what you eat. The other 2/3, your doctor live off. I ain't even gonna go into that one. I'm gonna let you chew on that one while you sitting up there eating on whatever you eat and looking at me laughing and shit. Right? As I drink this ambrosia. Damn. This one is mature. Alright. So fam, I want to thank everybody for stopping in, paying Brother Hatim a visit. I want to thank all those that have taken the Nguzo Saba challenge. I just sent out this month's calendar. I hope that you're filling out your stuff. Those that are interested in taking the Nguzo Saba challenge, don't just sign up for it and then jump right into it the next day. We only start on, it's best to start on emojis. And on my calendars, I'm going to start putting emoji on the calendar so that you can see the best time to start. Emoji is always the best day to start. All right. Now, also, take a week before because other information is coming to you. I didn't want to send everything to you at once, so I got everything timed so they come to you. So take your time, read, evaluate, and be clear on the process that you're setting up for yourself. Take a little of this, take a little of that, add your own stuff, boom, 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 create your own system, right? And the only thing what I ask you is this, man. Make sure if you're going to create it, if you're not going to follow the system I lay down, create something that you can pass down, right? Because my kids see me struggling with my stuff right now. You know what I'm saying? But if they see the benefits that come from it, they will start practicing it. You know, I got a pledge. We got a pledge, right? And it goes, I'm a Gye-Nyame man. For the kids, it's a little bit different. I'm Gye-Nyame. I was born for greatness. My greatness comes from my potent center. I pledge to find and connect with my center. I pledge to build my spirit, mind, and body. I pledge to use my hands to build a better world for myself, my loved ones, and community. I pledge to use my mind to think deeper, further, and higher. You know, I pledge to live my life and push past all of my self-imposed limitation. I pledge to promote the principle of Gye-Nyame tribe and assist all those seeking the path to success. I pledge all these things first to my teachers, to all my relations, to my ancestors, to my higher power. I am Gye-Nyame, Ashe, 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 right? So we teach a version of this to the kids. So I just had a class last Ujima. I got a class tomorrow with the young people. And I come in the house and Miss Gina is saying the pledge. She's saying the part that she remembered. Right? So it's a reason that we need to start these processes because our kids start copying us. Family, do you understand the power of that? Right? We're no longer just building nation. We're building culture. Right? Because you know what I'm saying? If I don't have a culture, I could build something and I'll pass it on to the next generation. And because they don't have the principles, because they don't have the mores, because they don't have the rituals, because they don't have the ceremonies of what was built, they will squander and destroy it. I'm just saying. That's just me. Yo, this is Brother Tim. I'm saying thank you to everybody that tuned in now and later. Be sure to join me for the Daily Toast. I'm up Umoja through Nia at 4:15. Get your ass up. Salute your ancestors, right? If you don't get up with me, and I know some of y'all like, he throwing hands up. Well, nah, I just use my goddamn hands. So miss me with that conspiracy shit. All right. I get up and I toast the ancestors. You know what I'm saying? Those that want to join, you can join me live on Facebook every morning at 4:15 on from Umoja to Nia. If you have ancestors that you want me to announce over Facebook, put it up. The only thing I ask is that you bring your own glass. You bring you some water, not tap water. Now, if you got tap water, I don't need to know. Bring you some fresh water. Start your day off with some water, and then have a health drink that we toast to the ancestors. And we don't pour it out. We pour it into our body because my thing is, how can I serve my ancestors if I'm not healthy? So I have to start taking care of myself, right? Because we manifest everything that our ancestors laid down for us. But you can't do it if you ain't healthy, right? So with that, I toast you. So be sure to join me if you can. And if not, catch it on read, because I see a lot of y'all seeing it later, right? And take the Nguzo Saba challenge for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Or at least sign up so you get some free stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's free. You know what I'm saying? Unless you want to donate. This is Brother Tim, and I'm saying you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. I am your host with a glass of that Death Eater mature ambrosia. Now, those of you that want mature ambrosia, you need to be specific with me, right? Because I can give you this sweet, super bubbly stuff, and it's still good for you. But if you want to feel the real effects of this right here, right? You need to get the mature shit. All right? Yeah. The probiotics is just ridiculous. All right? You're listening to a Heart of a Simba production. Well, my only goal in life is to blow up your goddamn paradise. I'm out.
Mr. Diddy.
Sending shots out. Sending shots out to Mr. Kill, Brother Shaka, Brother Uhale, and Troy Reed. Shots out. Thank you for joining. Peace. My fault. Peace, power, joy, and 100 years. I'm out.